Have you ever wondered how a single individual can shape the course of history? On a day like any other in the year 100 BC, in the heart of Rome, a child was born into a noble but not particularly wealthy family. This child was named Julius Caesar. From a young age, Caesar was different. He possessed an ambition that was palpable, an ambition that would lead him to rise above his modest beginnings. In his early years, Caesar made a pivotal decision that would have significant political implications. He chose to marry Cornelia, a decision that was more than just a matter of the heart. This marriage marked the start of his intricate dance with power, a dance that would see him maneuver through the complex web of Roman politics. And so, the stage was set. This was the beginning of a journey that would forever change the world. In the power corridors of Rome, a star was rising. This star was none other than Julius Caesar. His political journey began as a member of the popular faction, a group that championed the cause of the Roman populace. Caesar's charisma, intelligence, and knack for public speaking quickly set him apart. But it was his election as Pontifex Maximus, the chief priest of the Roman state religion, that truly marked his ascension. This position, more than any other, gave Caesar the influence and power he needed to sway the political landscape of Rome. But in the ruthless world of Roman politics, alliances were as crucial as personal capability. Recognizing this, Caesar formed a strategic partnership with two of Rome's most influential figures, Crassus, Rome's richest man, and Pompey, its most successful general. This alliance, known as the First Triumvirate, would prove to be one of the most powerful political machines Rome had ever seen. With the backing of Crassus and Pompey, Caesar secured his appointment as governor of Gaul. This position offered him the chance to do what he did best: wage war. His military campaigns in Gaul were marked by stunning victories which expanded the Roman Empire and filled its coffers. For the Roman populace, Caesar's victories were a source of immense pride, and his popularity soared. Yet his success was not without its costs. The Gaul campaigns were brutal and bloody, and Caesar's tactics often drew criticism, but he was undeterred. He understood that in the game of power, popularity among the masses was paramount. He cultivated this popularity, using his victories to solidify his position and garner support. But the ladder of success is a perilous climb, and for Caesar it was no different. His rise to power was marked by strategic alliances, military victories, and a relentless ambition. But, as he would soon discover, the higher one climbs, the harder one can fall. This was just the beginning of Julius Caesar's complex and tumultuous journey to power. What does it take to conquer a land and its people? This question finds its answer in the Gallic Wars, a series of military campaigns led by none other than Julius Caesar. These wars not only expanded the Roman Empire but also showcased Caesar's strategic brilliance. The Gallic Wars, fought between 58 and 51 BC, were a pivotal moment in the history of Rome. Caesar, an ambitious general, was determined to extend Rome's territories further into Gaul, a region that roughly corresponds to modern-day France and Belgium. His strategic genius was evident in the way he used both force and diplomacy to subdue the various Gallic tribes. Caesar's approach was uncompromising and brutal, but it was also effective. He divided and conquered, exploiting rivalries among the Gallic tribes. He built bridges across the Rhine River in just 10 days, a feat that showcased the discipline and efficiency of the Roman army. He even crossed the English Channel to invade Britain, a move that further bolstered his reputation. One of the iconic moments of these wars was when Caesar, after winning a quick victory against Pharnaces II of Pontus, famously said, "Veni, vidi, vici." Translated as "I came, I saw, I conquered," this phrase encapsulates Caesar's confidence and his belief in his own invincibility. Yet the Gallic Wars were not just about victories and conquests. They were a bloody and brutal affair, resulting in the loss of millions of lives. Caesar's own writings reveal the scale of the devastation, with estimates suggesting that as many as 1 million Gauls were killed and another million enslaved. These wars were also a stepping stone for Caesar, propelling him to the forefront of Roman politics. They allowed him to pay off his debts, gain immense popularity among the Roman people, and ultimately pave the way to his dictatorship. The Gallic Wars were a testament to Caesar's military prowess, but they also set the stage for his downfall. The seeds of discontent were sown, and the stage was set for the next act of Caesar's dramatic life. How does one man's ambition lead to civil war and dictatorship? This is a question that has echoed through the annals of history, and the life of Julius Caesar provides one such answer. In the midst of his triumphs, Caesar's relationship with the Roman Senate had grown increasingly strained. The Senate, a body of aristocrats who had traditionally held the reins of power, viewed Caesar's growing influence with deep suspicion. This escalating tension eventually led to an outright rift, sparking a brutal civil war that would tear Rome apart. Caesar, ever the brilliant tactician, proved victorious in this bloody conflict. His victory, however, was not just a personal one, but a seismic shift in Roman politics. The Senate's power was diminished, and Caesar, once just a member of the aristocracy, was now the undisputed ruler of Rome. He was appointed as a dictator, a position of absolute power that had been traditionally reserved for times of crisis. As dictator, Caesar initiated a series of reforms aimed at consolidating his power and addressing some of the social and economic issues that had long plagued the Roman Republic. He restructured the Roman calendar, initiated public works projects, and introduced laws to alleviate the plight of Rome's poor. These actions, while controversial among the aristocracy, only served to increase his popularity among the common people. However, Caesar's rule was not without its critics. His reforms, while popular with the masses, were seen by many in the Senate as an affront to their power and privilege. Moreover, his appointment as dictator was a clear departure from the traditional republican values of Rome, causing unease among those who saw it as a step towards tyranny. And so, Julius Caesar, the man who had risen from relative obscurity to become the most powerful man in Rome, found himself in a precarious position. He had achieved unprecedented power, but this power had come at a price. As the saying goes, with great power comes great enemies. And Caesar, despite his victories and reforms, was no exception to this rule. What happens when the fear of tyranny overpowers the respect for a leader? Julius Caesar, despite his many victories and achievements, was not immune to the wrath of his enemies. A conspiracy was brewing in the Roman Senate, a plot to assassinate the man who had become too powerful in the eyes of many. The conspirators, known to history as the Liberators, were led by Gaius Cassius Longinus and Marcus Junius Brutus, two men who had once been allies of Caesar. The Ides of March, the 15th day of that month in the Roman calendar, was the day chosen for this dark deed. The Senate convened in a temporary meeting place adjacent to the theater of Pompey. Caesar, despite warnings and omens, attended the session as planned. The conspiracy was executed with chilling precision. As Caesar entered the Senate, the conspirators gathered around him. One by one, they produced their daggers and struck. Caesar, caught off guard, attempted to resist, but was overwhelmed by the sheer number of his attackers. Brutus, whom Caesar considered a friend and even a son, was amongst them. Legend tells us that as Brutus struck his blow, Caesar looked at him and uttered the famous words, "Et tu, Brute?" And you, Brutus? Whether he actually said these words or not is a matter of historical debate, but their dramatic impact cannot be denied. They epitomize the ultimate betrayal. The assassination of Julius Caesar was a pivotal moment in Roman history. It marked the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire. It was a brutal reminder of the dangers of absolute power and the lengths to which people will go to protect their democracy. The conspirators had hoped to restore the Republic, but instead, they plunged Rome into a series of civil wars. The power vacuum left by Caesar's death was filled not by a return to republican ideals but by the rise of a new autocracy under Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus. Julius Caesar's life ended in betrayal, but his legacy endured. His impact on Rome and indeed on the world is still felt today, more than 2,000 years after his death. What does it mean to leave a mark on history that lasts millennia? In the aftermath of Caesar's death, Rome was thrust into a turbulent era, ultimately giving birth to the Roman Empire. His assassination set the stage for his adopted son, Octavian, to rise as the first Roman emperor, marking the end of the Roman Republic. Julius Caesar's influence extends far beyond the realm of politics. He became a touchstone for future leaders, a symbol of ambition, power, and contradiction. Even today, his life and deeds echo in various aspects of our culture. His writings, such as The Gallic Wars, remain essential readings in classical literature. His life, filled with drama and intrigue, has been the inspiration for countless plays, novels, and films. In a world constantly changing, Caesar's legacy remains steadfast. His mark on history is not merely a footprint, but a deep imprint, forever influencing the course of human events. Julius Caesar, a man of ambition, power, and contradiction, forever etched in the annals of history.